How you guys doing? This is Suleiman. This is Suleiman from Professional Boxing. I just want to make this video talking about Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence, in my opinion, we have to make this video. In my opinion, I would like to express my opinion about how great he is in boxing at the welterweight division right now. Uh, and how accomplished he is, and why is he only attained one world title, the IBF welterweight champion. I think, in my opinion, the reason that Errol Spence only has attained the IBF welterweight title is because he's the most avoided welterweight in modern day boxing at this time. He's been highly avoided by all opponents that are high caliber and high quality in that division. Um, I heard it also in another boxing channel. The gentleman has fought once with Floyd Mayweather, and he gave him a black eye. He totally outclassed Floyd Mayweather in a sparring match, and that's a world class, the best pound for pound fighter at the present time, undefeated, retired undefeated. He's gonna be fighting a Japanese fighter, Floyd Mayweather, and this is a guy with zero losses, the upper echelon of boxing, and this guy received a black eye in a sparring match. He was anointed in that after that sparring match by Floyd Mayweather as the best pound for pound fighter on the come up, the most um, um the most talented fighter he fought. In my opinion, I also agree with Floyd. I think Errol Spence is very talented, a highly marketable world champion. At that time, he was a prospect. Now he's a highly marketable champion. He's also American born from Texas. In my opinion, he has fought and beaten the best possible opponents that have been put in front of him. He's highly talented. He has great boxing ability. He has gifts all around. He could box from a southpaw stance. He could probably switch. I haven't seen him do it lately because he hasn't been tested to that point. But his body punching is exceptional. It's exceptional in modern day time. I haven't seen no welterweight in the division, people, let's be for real, that attacks the body as ferociously as he has. I haven't seen no opponent up to date that has been able to sustain the body attack of Errol Spence, the IBF welterweight champion. I haven't seen anybody that he has called out that has easily agreed and has come forward to fight him from the other champions. He was calling out world champions even before he was a champion. So yeah, Lawrence, thank you for being on my show. This is Suleiman Ayaskar Professional Boxing. Pass the word around. I got a live chat also. I'm gonna be throwing live chats. I work full time, so whenever I get the opportunity, I'm gonna try to go and bring a boxing show. I just want to express my opinion about Errol Spence. You know, at one time, I had question marks about Errol, right? And that's before he fought Lamont Peterson. And I was big up on Lamont Peterson because he's a hands-on, top power forward type of fighter. And I said, wow, man, Errol Spence, I haven't seen him fight nobody. I want to see if he's for real. And Errol Spence took Lamont Peterson, and Lamont Peterson put his hands on him, and Errol Spence swallowed him up. I mean, it got to the point that the corner through the towel, everybody was like, whoa, this guy's real. You know what I'm saying? So, he put him away, and we didn't hear a pipsqueak from anybody. I don't hear nobody hooting and hollering to fight him. He's been calling out Keith Thurman even before he was champion. They made Errol Spence sit on the sofa for a year, and they melt down Kell Brook to fight him, and he beat the bricks out of like WB said in his show, he beat the bricks out of Kell Brook. He beat Kell Brook so bad in that fight that I think Kell Brook is still he having flashbacks about that fight because he fought Mike Sarafaha, and when he fought him, he lapsed. He was winning the fight throughout, and he lapsed in the later rounds, and Zafar was able to tag him. So Errol Spence has a debilitating body tag. His punches are accumulative damage. When you lose to Errol Spence by knockout, it has a lingering effect. And not too many modern day fighters want to go in with a champion is going to abuse your body like that in such a fashion. And Errol Spence is real cool, calm, collect on the come up to the fight. He knows what he's bringing into the fight game. He follows his platform to the max, and you see it against his opponents. The number one contender he fought, Ocampos, he didn't look that bad. He was unbeaten. He was good in the Mexican national circuit. He fought credible opponents, and he was ranked number one. And Errol Spence went in there knowing the guy didn't have a great resume in the sense that he didn't fight quality opponents. And once he started tagging him to the body, the kid surrendered. The kid didn't even last a round. Okay, and the kid had a pretty good job. He had a little movement. He was tall. He was unbeaten. He was willing to connect. But at the end of the day, when Errol Spence attacked his body, it basically took the fight out of him. So and he took the defeat. I mean, this is the thing is once people um they get the fight with Errol Spence and they taste the body punches, they taste some of that gunpowder from those heavy hands that he has. Right away, they comply. They it's like they tap out. You know what I'm saying? They tap out. Once he takes the body, they tap out. And by the way, you hear a lot of nice things about Errol Spence, a lot of compliments and so forth. I think Mikey Garcia is making a mistake. I think Mikey Garcia, the fight's in March. I won't be surprised if Garcia finds a way to pull out from this fight, or maybe some negotiation takes place, or maybe he just wakes up and they tell him, because I think it's gonna be a very sad knockout in his favor. I mean, he fought Robert Easter. He made Robert Easter become a one-dimensional fighter. He became a one-handed fighter, but this is not Robert Easter is not a junior. It's not Errol Spence. Errol Spence, he has a body attack. He's a southpaw. He has Olympic pedigree. Okay, he didn't win no championships at that level. Uh, but he has an Olympic pedigree. The only reason is he has only one IBF belt. World belt is because people didn't want to fight him. He had attained several regional belts when he was on the come up. So we basically want to see him fight, become a unified champion in that division, or move up. But as you see, the powers that be are making it very hard for him to that to happen. I don't see why Keith Thurman doesn't sign the fight. I don't see also why a guy Terrence Crawford, I can understand why the fight is not happening right away, because they're the best fighters in that division. I could see why Terrence Crawford is waiting for him to maybe unify with the other champions to make the fight more marketable, because they're the two best fighters in that division. Terrence Crawford is a three division champion, or somewhat like Mikey Garcia. I could see also why maybe Mikey Garcia is jumping at that, because being that Errol Spence is in the limelight of that division. Um, the limelight of that division, and he just to go in the ring with him, even if he loses and he does pretty good for a couple of rounds, that's gonna give him some credibility on his resume. Okay, but I think it's the feed is too much from 135. Even though he fought at 140 and he hurt Sergey Lipinets a little bit, Lipinets still managed to go the distance. Okay, people say, "Wow, look at the punching power." He made Lipinets look like I heard one guy say he made him look like one of those bubblegum singers. And in one show, in another boxing show I heard, and the guy was spoofing on him for a minute. He was saying, "Oh wow, he made Lipinets look like Justin Bieber and all that," and he did hurt the kid, but the kid went the distance. He's a European fighter, real tough, went the distance. So now he's fighting a guy that's a 147 pounder, has an Olympic resume. Has fought guys like Kell Brook, who hits man hard on the come up, but Kell Brook was IBF champion before he fought Triple G. He probably was considered one of the biggest punchers in that division. Okay, so he was knocking out like Kevin Bizier. He was knocking out guys that were big punches. Okay, and he was knocking out dudes like very quickly. Okay, I think he beat Jojo Dan also. He beat Sean Porter and him got into a hugging match, but every single time he hit Sean Porter with a couple of combinations, Sean Porter was showing the effects of Kell Brook's punching power. He also knocked out that guy that was real high on the guy that Paulie Malignaggi beat. Senchenko. I remember Senchenko was hot, man. Senchenko, at one time he was WBA super champion at 147. He was a hot fighter. Paulie Malignaggi went to his country and busted him up with the jab, created a cut, and he lost. So on the come up, Kell Brook knocked out Senchenko. So this is not your average welterweight. Kell Brook has punching power. Okay, I know a couple of other guys in boxing shows that are high on Kell Brook even to today, to this day. And Errol Spence beat the bricks out of this guy. Errol Spence beat him so bad that he took the fight out of him. Even today, Kell Brook is not the same after that fight. Kell Brook fought a guy, Michael Sarafaha, last time. They're talking about putting him in for, against Amir Khan, one of these other fighters. He's still thinking that he could come down to 147. I doubt it. After the beating he received from Errol Spence, the guy's never been the same. Okay, so this is a guy that's gonna be matched against Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia went the distance with Sergey Lepanets and vacated the belt and went back down to 135. Maybe it's because his markability or so forth, but now I don't know why he keeps calling out Errol Spence, and he could have got a nice easy payday. It would be a pretty good even fight. He would have had a power advantage against uh, high tech uh, Lomachenko. Being that Lomachenko's right now he just came from surgery and he fought a unanimous decision win against Jose Pedraza. That could have been a very marketable fight for Mikey Garcia, which might still be there, depending how he looks in what fashion he fights against Errol. But I don't think this gonna be a win. I think he's gonna be like he's gonna be a crushing knockout, and they're gonna blame the weight, or he's gonna say that he didn't. It's gonna be like what happened to Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson went in, he was WBA regular belt, he vacated his belt, and he thought he was gonna fight an untested fighter because that's what everybody says. All these haters, they say, "Oh, Errol Spence only has two defenses, and one of them was against an unbeaten number one ranked IBF contender, and the other one was against a washed up 140 pounder." But you're talking about a guy, Lamont Peterson is a two division champ, went toe to toe with Danny Garcia, and lost only by points. Okay, in a fight, it was a catchweight fight. Okay, and then he vacated his belt. He beat Amir Khan. Okay, Lamont Peterson has a very very good resume. Okay, and then he goes up and beats David Avaneson and takes his belt and then vacates that belt because he dared to be great to fight Errol. So this is a guy. What? Let me see. Trap Media is saying something about Spence and he beat Leonard Bondu. Leonard Bondu, he fought as best he can, and Leonard Bondu he trounced him. Errol Spence. Okay, so this video here, I just want to show people that the greatness of Errol Spence. I want to show people why he only has one belt. Okay, I want to explain to people why he has one belt. In my opinion, he has one belt because no other fighters want to fight him. They made it even difficult for him to attain the IBF belt. That's how avoided welterweight he is. Okay, that's how avoided welterweight he is. That he had to wait a year, right? Wait for Kell Brook to melt down. Okay, being that he was a true number one contender IBF. Okay, wait for him to melt down so he could fight him. And he fought him and broke him down. I mean, that guy had the best opportunity. Eddie Hearn made it so gave so much the benefit of the doubt. Okay, to Kell Brook to give him a chance to at least defend the belt. best opportunity to defend that belt as fair as possible against Errol Spence, and he tried his best. He was leading on the cards in some of the early rounds, but the cumulative punishment that he received in that fight against Errol Spence, it took his toll. It took the fight out of him. Okay, he had a bad injury, but they gave him a year. Okay, he had a year to melt down and heal from the injury from Triple G. And then on top of that, he had a year to train, man. He had a year to train to go down to 147, to allegedly fight quote unquote an unproven welterweight, overhyped welterweight that was his number one contender, and he got broken down. He got beaten. Um, Try me who I got, Porter and you guys. Well, I don't know, man. I think I see Sean Porter. Sean Porter looked real good, man. And that fight was triple G with Danny Garcia, man. He stunned a lot of people in that fight. He looked real strong. His body attack looked good. He stood in the pocket with Danny. He confused the crap out of Danny in the sense that he was there going toe to toe. He wasn't afraid to box. Okay, he was very focused in that fight with Danny Garcia. I think that Danny would have thrown his hands a little much more and pumped his jab a little more to get a little more points. Um, and would have been a little more bold. I mean, that fight could have been a draw, or it could have went either way to that. It could have went to Danny, but if Sean Paul keeps improving from that last performance, he might have a chance to beat Ugas, being that Ugas doesn't have a world level championship. He never been a world champion. You're talking about Sean Paul. He's a two-time champion in that 147-pound division. At one time, Sean Porter was the man. He knocked out Paulie Malignaggi, bro, in 2 rounds, man. He beat a strong Paulie Malignaggi, man. A strong Paulie Malignaggi that was making a comeback or got dropped and beat by decision by attacking the body of Zab Judah, who was also a comeback, and then he threw him against Sean Porter, and he beat him. He beat the bricks out of Paulie Malignaggi in 2 rounds. Okay, so Sean Porter was a tough cookie in that fight, and he fought Kell Brook, okay, and lost to Kell Brook. Some people say because Kell Brook was hugging, but I think it was the power and also the aggression. He was smothering some of his punches. So then after that, he was on a long career to get a fight back. They put him with Keith Thurman, and he fought Keith Thurman, and they say that some people to this day say that he won that fight by split decision, but he lost by split decision to Keith Thurman. Okay, some people say that fight was even harder than the one with Danny Garcia. You know, and I'm a big Danny Garcia fan, man. I think both the losses on Danny Garcia, they were both split decision losses. Okay, so those two losses could have gone either way. The powers that be gave him the two losses. Danny Garcia to me is a very credible opponent. If you got to win on Danny Garcia, I walk with my chest out, man. Because if I get a winner with Danny Garcia, I walk with my chest out because that's a tough cookie, bro. Yeah, you said that he lost. He lost to Mauricio Herrera, but look at Mauricio Herrera now, man. And the reason Mauricio Herrera gets a lot of points, a lot of fights in his favor, and it goes to the scorecards. Is that he's very durable, Mauricio Herrera, and he stays in the pocket way too long, man. I think he's punch drunk, man. If you have a conversation, he looks punch drunk, bro. He won 12 hard rounds with Danny Garcia. I think he fought that kid too and lost some points to that kid. What's that kid's name? The one that won that got just recently knocked out by Jose Benavides. Yeah, he lost his belt, one of his belts, the interim belt at 140 to Jose Benavides. And Benavides, bro, even though he got shot in the leg, Benavides was knocking people cold in 1 round or 2 rounds, man. Benavides could punch. He's tall, and he knows how to use his height to create punching power, man. And that's to show you how great Terence Crawford is. Terence Crawford took the fight out of him and wore him out and knocked him out. People say, oh, his leg. But the leg wasn't the factor on the come up to get to that fight. Look at the type of guys that he beat, man. He beat Mauricio Herrera, okay? And took his interim 140-pound WBA belt. So this just show you the quality of fighters that you got at 140 and 147. And Errol Spence is the talk of the town. Errol Spence is in the limelight. So This is the type of fighter you're fighting. I mean, Mikey Garcia is gonna be fighting. He's gonna be fighting the top premium fighter, man. He's the premium fighter of that division. Okay, he's the talk. He's the talk of the welterweight division. So, yeah, that guy Mauricio Rivera, man, he takes a lot of punishment. Uh, he beat Ruslan Provodnikov. He took a beating in that fight, and he got the IBF Intercontinental International belt at 140. And then he lost, I think, to Mikey Alvarado. Mike Alvarado beat him. Okay, he got a couple of losses in that division, and then moved up to worked up his way to 147. But he also lost to Jose Benavides, and Benavides went to 147 also. So Jose Benavides is a puncher, bro. Okay, so the accumulated punching that guy has, the track record of that guy, man. He just lost the fight right now to Saddam Ali, man. Saddam Ali boxed the daylights out of that guy, man. He's slow. He takes a lot of punishment, man. Only thing about Mauricio Herrera that I like, that he's very durable and he's game as hell. Now he's not afraid to be great. But the problem is he stays in the pocket too long and takes way too many punishment. The thing he got, I think the best thing about Mauricio Herrera is his chin, man. If you told me gauge Mauricio Herrera, I say his greatest asset is his chin, man. He takes a hell of a great punch. He's been in it with bone crunching punches, and has managed to last the distance. I haven't heard of anybody knocking him out. So yeah, Danny Garcia beat him, man. You know, in my opinion, Danny Garcia beat him for that fight. Look at that two resumes, man. Danny Garcia, and look at his resume. Okay, the thing is that the guy, he has his greatest asset is his chin, and he likes to stay in the pocket, man. He likes to take in the pocket. I think he takes too much punishment. I think if Mauricio Herrera was boxed a little more, and box and move a little more, Mauricio Herrera's resume will be much better, and he probably would have been a world champion. But Mauricio Herrera, the problem is he stays too much in the pocket. He's not afraid to trade with people, and he doesn't have the punching power to hurt his opponents. Okay, so his punching power and his courageousness, his ineffective courageousness and aggression, and his chin is what hurts him. That's why he'll never be a great fighter. Let me see, bro. I'm being a super fan. You couldn't have watched that fight. Danny got outboxed. Listen, Danny got outboxed. Danny won that fight, man. Look at that fight again, boss. I mean, I know people are saying that he beat him because the punishment. Oh no, that fight there, man. I seen that fight 4 times. Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson ran for like almost the whole fight. Only the later couple of rounds when Danny got a little tired, he started fighting in spurts. He was, if to me, Lamont Peterson should have been disqualified for his life. He was running, man. He was running, bro. He was running through the whole fight. He was scared shitless of Danny, man. For the first 7 rounds, bro. He wasn't scoring anything, man. So if what fight you saw, I don't know. To me, bro, that fight, bro, he ran his heart out. Okay, I don't want to sound like Danny Garcia's dad, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. My homie, bro, had that dude running for his life, bro. At the last couple of rounds, that's when he got on, and he was catching Danny with a couple of shots, and he lasted the distance. Okay, but he had a safety first approach. Okay, and that fight, I think to me that was the worst fight of Lamont Peterson's career. And that besides the one that he got starched by what's his name, by the guy that just retired, that lost to Manny Pacquiao, Lucas Matisse. Lucas Matisse caught him flush with a left hook. So after that fight, he changed his whole style, man. Even when he went to welterweight, Lamont Peterson, he changed his whole approach, man. Once he gets hit, he starts boxing, man. You must be Puerto Rican. You're very bad when it comes to Danny. Hey, I like Danny Garcia, man. I'm an American national. I was born in Brooklyn. I never been to Puerto Rico, man. I live in the Bronx for 11 years. I never been to Puerto Rico, man. I wish I could go, man. I hear it's beautiful, man. I don't know nobody there. I'm gonna have to be in a resort. It's gonna cost me like 4 to 5 G's, bro. So if you wanna donate to my channel, give me $4 or $5,000, man. So I could go to Puerto Rico for a vacation, man. Hey, throw another 5, man. As a matter of fact, give me another 5. So I could take a nice, beautiful girl with me over there too, okay, man? So if you guys want to donate my channel, give me 5 for me and 5 for my girl. Hey, that's 10 G's, so I could go over there and spend a good time in a resort. Hey, man, I like it, man. All right, but I never been there, man. I've never been there. I like Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is from Philadelphia, man. He's a Puerto Rican born and raised in Philadelphia, also, man. So that's how it is, boss. We both nationals, man. I just like the kid's style, man. He's very aggressive. He's very popular, bro. And who tell me who doesn't like Danny Garcia? A lot of people are high on Danny Garcia, man. Even now, his two losses, bro, were on points, split decision losses, bro, to apex fighters, bro. And he's courageous as hell. He wants to fight everybody. The thing is that the money's not right, man. The problem with Danny will call out, he'll fight anybody, right? But the problem with Danny is that they don't want to pay him the money, right? And every single time he fights a great fighter, they shortchange him on the money, okay? Then the problem with Errol is Errol is willing to pay the good money for him to fight because he got the great promotion, but the guys don't want to fight him. So Errol has it worse than Danny because guys, they throw all the money in the world to fight him, but they don't want to fight him. And then who wants the problem too? Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has the same problem that Errol Spence has. Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder, they offered 50 million to Anthony Joshua to fight him. He don't want to fight him. The only guy that was courageous enough to step in the ring was the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury got knocked. He was getting beat. He got beat so bad in that fight. Okay, he got dropped twice. He looked like he was jumped. He looked like he got mugged in that fight, man. After the fight, man, he had swells all over his head. My man knocked him out. If he would have been in England, he would have been the talk of the town because he would have knocked Tyson Fury out because he had him knocked out. He woke up at a count of 5, and his referee actually gave him the 8 count and put him back to fight. So, and this guy's already celebrating. There's no way if that fight would have took place in England or one of these other countries, these European circuit countries, they wouldn't even have done a count because he knocked him flat on his back, man. Okay, so to me, in my opinion, bro, that Deontay Wilder won that fight, but because the powers that be, they want to, it's gonna happen. And this fight here, the rematch is he's gonna be much more aggressive. He knows what Tyson Fury is bringing to the table, that little shuck and jive, head movement, a pity pat style that he has. He's not gonna give no respect to Tyson Fury's punching power. I don't care how much he trains, and he's no Derek Chisora. Even if he overtrains, bro, because that's why he was able to knock Derek Chisora in the second fight. Derek Chisora overtrained, but remember, Deontay Wilder is no Derek Chisora. Okay, so in the rematch, it's gonna be a whole different thing. I think Deontay Wilder is gonna bust him up in the early rounds, bro. He's not even giving him a chance for it to go to the judges, bro. He's gonna probably use the body attack. He's gonna use that windmill, everything. The problem is that hey, Tyson Fury is a big dude, very big dude. He has a lot of head movement. Okay, and that's it. That's about it. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to his boxing, but at the end of the day, bro, his pity pat punching and his caginess is not gonna save him against Deontay Wilder. And the only problem with Errol Spence is he don't got a Tyson Fury to fight him in his division. Okay, there's no big welterweight. The only one that was pretty big in the welterweight division with that height was Jose Benavidez, and he just been knocked out. He was knocked out recently by Terrence Crawford. So hey, man, if he gets some time, gets a couple of wins on his resume, maybe he could be courageous enough to call out Errol Spence and get a fight with him too. Because he's pretty big. Jose Benavidez is a tall fighter. He punches. I know the people's talking about, oh, he got shot in the leg, but the leg was never an issue with Jose Benavidez because he was knocking out dudes in the early rounds, man. He was hurting guys in the first, second, or third rounds, man, putting them away. The only problem with Jose Benavidez is that he fought Terrence Crawford, and it was going the distance. Terrence Crawford was beating him in every skill asset. That's why I give Terrence Crawford a lot of respect because he fought a dude that's like over 6 foot, man. I think Jose Benavidez is like 6'1", 6'2". So if he managed to get a couple of wins on his resume and fights Errol Spence, then he might have the Tyson Fury advantage that Tyson Fury had over Deontay Wilder. But I don't see any welterweight that has the height advantage over Errol Spence right now, man. And it's another boxing show that I was listening to on the chat, and he's a good friend of mine. He don't want me to advertise his name. We'll break a boxing, but he said I could say his YouTube name. That we was talking about Oscar de la Hoya against Errol Spence. Oscar de la Hoya he was very mobile, had a beautiful jab. Okay, he was very emotional when he fought. Was very popular. Was the golden boy of boxing, and even him will have trouble with Errol Spence. Because once Errol Spence starts cranking it, he starts smoking and starts throwing those body punches, bro. I don't think too many got welterweights in modern day time or the legends, because Oscar De La Hoya is a legend when it comes to welterweight division. Okay, I don't think any of them are gonna be able to take the body attack, that that my Chris Van Hayden was IBO champ. Chris Van Hayden vacated the belt because the belt wasn't as credible as the other welterweight titles, and he vacated his belt and decided to fight Errol on the come up. And to tell you, Chris Verheen is a good fighter, man. Right now he's fighting on 154, and once he started tasting the gunpowder from those hands of Errol Spence, once he tastes that gunpowder, bro, and he saw that Errol Spence had powder points in his hands, bro. Yo, it was a wrap, bro. It was a wrap. You could see the power. The power took the fight out of Chris Verheen, bro. He took the fight out of him. He beat two Chris's, bro. He beat him, and he beat the daylights out of Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri went down to 140, bro. Okay, so I haven't seen anybody of all his opponents give Errol Spence, push Errol Spence to the next level, man. Besides maybe Kell Brook, and Kell Brook basically was mythologically beaten to the body and all over the place. It got to the point that he sponged so much punishment that another orbital bone was broken, and what he did was he just gave up. You all saw the fight. He gave up basically from the accumulated punishment from the fight, man. Okay, so I think he has two defenses. Lamont Peterson, they stopped the fight on Lamont. Lamont was still standing. It was a TKO, but Lamont got a hell of a beating in that fight, man. Lamont was all swollen. Lamont put his hands on Errol, and it had no effect, man. Okay, he couldn't do what he did to Danny because, yo, not for nothing, but Errol's been cut off the ring very quickly, bro. You can't outrun Errol. Errol's on your backside, bro. You can't outrun him, so you can't cut off the ring. Then on top of that, the young kid that was undefeated, that was number one ranked contender. Hey, once the kid touched the body punches, bro, the fight was over, bro. The fight was over in the very first round. So I don't know who you guys right now. Errol Spence is having a problem getting world class opponents, bro. These other champions, bro. Sean Porter, man. After you get rid of Ugas, man, you gotta sign up that fight, man. You gotta sign that fight with Errol Spence, man. Be next in line, boss. Be next in line, because it's gonna be like, who's next? Who's next for Errol? It's gonna be you, bro. You gotta be you, man. Okay? Keith Thurman, once you beat Josecito Lopez, the guy that Andrew Berto knocked out. You know what I'm saying? He's number 7 ranked WBA contender. I don't know how. I don't know how. Josecito Lopez, the guy that got knocked out by Andre Berto, okay? For the WBA interim championship. Okay? Has fought lackluster opponents. He's still ranked number 7 and is gonna get to fight the WBA super champion. Okay, the WBA super champion at 147, Keith Thurman. After a 2-year layoff, he's gonna get a title fight. Okay, that fight should have been Errol Spence. That opponent should have been Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao should not be fighting AB, bro. What does AB has done to get a title fight against Manny Pacquiao? Okay, that's a great question, right? A guy that's 5'4", that has lackluster fights. Okay, all right. He lost that fight with Jesse Vargas, and the fight became a draw. AB, you gotta get on your game plan, bro. You can't be hanging out, getting yourself arrested with nonsense, bro. You gotta get focused, bro. Know what I'm saying? You not only you're 5'4". I mean, you practically ate your way out of the 140-pound division. To me, that's the weight level that you're supposed to be at. But you went to 147. You skipped that division from day one because you want to be comfortable at 147. Then you went there and you all confidently got beat up by what's his name? What's his name? This guy. Uh, Marcos Maidana, okay? Marcos Maidana took your belt, okay? And you look good in that fight, that loss, okay? Then ever since then, you never been the same, man. You never been the same, man. You took a payday, exercise, step aside money so Floyd could fight him, and you never been the same, man. You managed to get another belt at 140. Then you gave up the belt. Basically, you gave up the belt because you couldn't make the weight limit allegedly, and you gave up the belt. And now you want to fight Manny Pacquiao at 147 if they allow it for the regular WBA 147-pound championship. And I don't know, but if they're gonna let you fight because I heard you got arrested. But if that fight does take place, man, I want to see you crank your hands to the body, man. I want to see you imitate Erroll, man. I want you to see you be a pocket-sized Errol Spence in that fight, man. Okay, the guy's a southpaw. Okay, okay. Look at me, man. I'll tell you how to fight that guy. Look at me. I'm gonna show you how to win that fight, man. Body attack, boss. You gotta be like what Ray Mancini says. You gotta get in the pocket, start attacking the body, man. Okay, he's a southpaw. Okay, so his left side is open for your left hook to the body, man. Okay, so once you duck that jab, once you duck that southpaw jab, which is a right jab, you hit him, you crack him to the body with the left hook. Then you come upstairs with the right hand, man. Like even Keith Thurman saying, he's showing you how to win the fight. Attack with the upper body, man. Take the legs away of Manny Pacquiao, right? Smother him. Don't give him that chance to catch you with the jabs, like he did to Lucas Matisse. That fight, Lucas Matisse lost that fight because he permitted Manny Pacquiao to hit him with the jabs, the extra jabs, and give him movement. If Lucas Matisse would have been aggressive and would have been fast enough and wouldn't have taken so much punishment he took, from guys like Vito Posto and etc. from in the 140-pound division when he came up, and also when he became champion, he took a hell of a lot of punishment against that Taiwanese guy. He would have had enough ability to hit him with the left hook to the body and break him down, make him drop his hand, and catch him with the right hand and finish him. And that's what you gotta do. You gotta attack the body, work the body, left hook to the body all day long. That part of the body is open for you, and then come upstairs with the right hand. And then if you get a chance to get him with a check hook, you get him with a check hook, man. Your boy Floyd was master at that trade, man. So if you want to be a champion again, that's all you have to do to be Manny Pacquiao, man. Okay. I don't know if you're gonna be courageous enough to ask for Errol Spence fight. Errol Spence, oh my God, he will beat the bricks up, put you into retirement, man. So don't step in the ring with Errol Spence if you become champion against Manny Pacquiao. Uh, I don't know who else could you beat, man. Maybe Danny Garcia. I heard somebody say in the chat. Danny Garcia. I don't know, man. Can you handle Danny Garcia, man? Are you focused enough to handle the Danny Garcia? I don't know. Swift. I don't know, man. You gotta see how your performances against Manny Pacquiao is gonna be, because if you manage to beat Manny Pacquiao, then I don't know, man. Then the sky's the limit for you. Maybe you could call out Danny Garcia and have a chance, man. Because who could you beat, man? Who could you beat? What we gonna have to see how Keith Thurman does against Josecito. Josecito's a big dude. He even went up to 154 and fought Canelo Alvarez, man. He at one time Josecito broke Victor Ortiz's jaw, and because he broke Victor Ortiz's jaw in a fight, Josecito Lopez, they threw him against with Canelito. He was courageous enough to take the Canelito fight. Okay, did pretty good. I mean, he lost the fight. He got knocked out, but he did pretty good against Canelo, man. Canelo got some rounds out of him, man. They was going toe to toe for a minute there. They went back down to 147, and the last guy to beat him was the fast power jabbing Andre Berto. Wore him out. It was for the WBA interim belt. I remember that fight like it was yesterday. Andre Berto was boxing him, and Andre Berto has this methodical, fast jab. Everything comes off his jab. All his punches, he hits you with a fast jab, and right off the jab, down the pipe, he throws his right hand, and it creates openings for him, man. When he was doing that one time, everybody was talk. He was the talk of the town, Andre Berto. But those were the heydays. That's back in the day. So I don't know how much he has in his tank to be able to fluster Keith Thurman. But if Keith Thurman manages to to put his hands on him heavily or use his mobile style of fighting that he's been using recently, um, then you won't hear about Josecito Lopez anymore in any title fights. And then Keith Thurman most probably is gonna fight, like he said, Sean Porter next. I think that's the most weakest champion in that division for Keith Thurman to have a chance with to defeat, because if he goes into Errol Spence in the ring with Errol Spence, I don't even think he and now Keith Thurman at this time, at this stage of his career, go handle Errol Spence body attack. We see that he's susceptible to a body attack. We saw him when he fought Luis Colazo. Luis Colazo touched his body up and he couldn't take the punishment. At no time we ever saw Keith Thurman fight Floyd Mayweather. That fight never took place. Okay, at no time we ever saw Keith Thurman fight Amir Khan. Okay, another mobile fighter. So we don't know how Keith Thurman is gonna deal with the aggression, the power, the body attack of Errol Spence. We don't know how he's gonna deal with the cumulative punching damage effect that Errol Spence gives his opponents. We don't know how he's gonna deal with the cutting of the ring that Errol Spence is magnificent at. Okay, he cuts them in very nicely. Not too many guys have enough movement for them to be able to counter or use that from box from outside, because Errol Spence totally negates that. So I don't know if he is going to be courageous enough to step with Errol Spence. And if he obliterates Mikey Garcia, I think that's going to even hurt him even more to get opponents inside the ring with him, unless they give him an unbelievable amount of paydays. Like, what Errol Spence got to do is like put like 25 mil on the table and offer it to these guys like Keith Thurman, offer these guys like Terence Crawford these kind of paydays, so he could get them in the ring. I think that's the only thing possible that he could do, unless he just decides to vacate the belt and just move up and go to 154 and then challenge a Jared Hurd, or give him 25 mil for that fight, make it a big fight, and go in there and beat him, because these guys are not fighting Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence right now, if he continues to beat opponents and manages to lure one of these other champions in there, Errol Spence could be an undefeated, undisputed welterweight champion. Um, he just got to get these guys to go in the ring. Once he knocks one out, I think it'll create a residual effect and get the other champions in there to fight him. I just wanted to make this quick video. I was listening to another boxing channel, and we was talking about Errol Spence. They were talking about Errol Spence for like a good hour, and I said, hey man, I'm gonna have to go on my channel and talk about Errol for a minute. And I just wanted to put out my opinion on how great Errol Spence is, what skill assets he has in the welterweight division, why he only has one IBF belt. Because I hear some haters saying, "Oh, he only has one belt. He only has defended it twice. He doesn't have the resume to be that." Look, he beat guys that were champions, man, and knocked them out. He knocked out ex-champion Chris Algieri. Nobody has knocked out Chris Algieri. He's the first man to knock out Chris Algieri, the WBO 140-pound champ, who challenged Manny Pacquiao, okay? And he was knocked out. Who went toe to toe with Amir Khan, okay? And knocked him out cold, put him on the seat of his pants. Knocked out Chris Algieri. Nobody, Chris Van Heerden. Nobody knocked out Chris Van Heerden except him, okay? He took the fight out of him. TKO'd Lamont Peterson. Knocked out his number one contender, Ocampos, okay? Undefeated Mexican fighter, a Mexican national, knocked him out, okay? Who else he fought? Who else other champions were courageous enough to fight him? Leonard Bondu, the ex-European champ who knocked out, who I think he knocked out Frankie Gavin or beat him on points. Put it, Luke Campbell, who was it? Luke Campbell? Luke Campbell? Or Purdy or something like that. He put him into retirement. A British fighter that everybody was talking about. Or Leonard Bondu was putting guys into retirement, and was a European champion, Italian European champion from Sierra Leone. And Bondu went in the ring. Oh, he also won the distance with Keith Thurman before he got knocked out. He fought for the championship. He was number one IBF ranked titleist for the IBF. Leonard Bondu, right? Ex-European champion. Okay, and he decided to fight Keith Thurman for a title fight, and instead of fighting Kell Brook, because that's how scared they were scared of Kell Brook's punching power, that they will actually fight Keith Thurman, the WBA champion. So he went in there against Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman dropped him in the first round. And I don't know what happened that Keith Thurman went the distance with him. Keith Thurman started boxing in that fight. He changed his whole style and started boxing. And he went the distance. So now when he went to fight Errol Spence, people were saying, oh, he could box. Ex-European champ. Had a pretty good resume. Okay. Went the distance with Keith Thurman. You know, he's walking with his chest out. And Errol Spence mentality beat this man to a pulp. Okay. He took the fight out of this guy. Gave him in front of his wife and kids, which they brought from Italy for that fight, and beat him and knocked him out. Who was the first man to knock out Leonard Bondu. It was Errol Spence. Okay, so I don't know what you guys are smoking. If you guys are hating on Errol Spence, instead of hating, you know, try to get these ex champions, other champions to go in the ring with him, or ex champions like a Danny Garcia, like who else is available to fight Errol Spence as an ex champ? Danny Garcia, maybe a rematch with Kell Brook. Or Amir Khan is another ex-champ that's in that division calling out people. Why you don't call out Errol Spence, man? Errol Spence is available, man. He's gonna be defending his belt against Mikey Garcia and knocking him out. So I guess you could be next, man. Amir Khan, man. Amir Khan, could be next for Errol Spence, man, because Errol Spence is unfortunately having trouble getting opponents. So listen, you guys have a great day, man. Once again, this is Suleiman Askar for Professional Boxing. Like and subscribe to my channel, and you guys have a great evening.